all about the hive. It's all about the hive. A little bit of spice, yeah. Take care of your hive.
Hi,
Hey, Angela.
how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm alive. I'm alive.
I tell you,
My chest is heavy. I'm sorry. My chest is heavy.
I've avoided it for all this time, just like you, and I know my time is coming.
See. Here we go. I'm getting people coming. Hey, Kimberly.
Hi. Here, let me get my video going. I feel like it's been so long since I've seen all of you.
Oh, it's so nice to see you.
You too, all of you. Yeah, I hope you've got more to join. Let me get rid of my guys. I don't have to blur my around with you guys. This is my home office, but yeah.
Hi, Chels.
Hi, how are you feeling?
Good.
Hanging in there?
Better. Wow, sorry. I feel
Good.
better. A little better. I'm just really winded.
Mm-hmm.
I get short of breath.
Yeah.
Which is the main reason it's hard for me to record or to,
Yep.
At least I don't sound as stuffy. I was a little bit stuffy, but not as bad as I was. But it's like if I talk more than 5 or 10 minutes, I get winded. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like I start to go. So it sounds like I'm making an obscene phone call. Record. I mean, I know I get excited for Outlander, but that's a bit ridiculous.
I had it in May. Yeah, the end of May, beginning of June, I had COVID, and it fortunately did not attack my respiratory system.
We lost your sound there.
Yeah, I lost her.
I lost her too. And we don't get her here that often, so it's really great to have Kimberly. I hope she can come back. Let her know on the chat. Is there a chat?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, there you guys. Okay.
So there she is. Okay, I was just texting you to say.
So until it is, I might be a little quiet.
Okay, no, yeah, you're back now.
Yeah. But anyway, I took the Paxlovid and it helped. But other people have taken the Paxlovid and it's just made things go away for a little bit and then they come back.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. Matter of fact, it came back worse.
Yeah.
And I told the doctor that. He was like, oh. And I'm like, what? And he says, this is something he was like all excited about a discovery. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you're excited. I said, I'm glad you're excited because it sucks. I said, I have too much to do. I can't be feeling like this. It's like, well, you need to rethink that. So I said, no, it's really weird because I felt bad. And it was different symptoms, but it was all like the symptomatic symptoms. And I said, I said it was manageable. It wasn't completely gone, but it was manageable with the Paxlovid. And I thought, oh, okay, 5 days of this, it'll kind of knock it out. And by the time I'm off this, it'll just be, whatever. Mm-hmm. Literally the day I went off it, like immediately the next, like that, I took my last thing in the morning, because I had started my thing at night. You take one in the morning, one at night, dose, Yep. And so I had started it in the evening when I got the prescription. So my last dose was in the morning. By that night, I was like so much worse. Oh. Literally, it was like my body just said, oh, no more Paxlovid. Okay. We're going to retaliate, and so it just, all the symptoms just came over me. Like I couldn't believe, I got another.
Wonder why they don't let you take it more than 5 days if that happens.
Now, Saliba said in the UK, they let you take it twice to back-to-back routine things of it, to kind of have 10 days of it.
Yeah.
Oh, we probably don't have enough of it because the government didn't order enough or some dumb reason like that. I just,
You can't
Yeah.
even get it unless you're in a you like it doesn't even go out to everybody. It goes only out
Right.
to people that qualify for because they are sitting in certain. Oh, Patty finally made it. I see Patty. I don't see her yet, but I see her.
Well, so I know
Hey,
I
Patty, is that
shouldn't
you?
have gotten it.
and
I
Veronica's on her way, she said.
There
Hello,
she is. I think.
this is Patty.
Hey, Patty. How are
Hey.
you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm alive. Doing a little better today. I'm not sounding as stuffy. I'm not blowing my nose as much, but I have a lot of like weight on my chest. It feels like
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, you
I get
sound sick
winded.
still.
I
Yeah,
get
you
winded.
sound- Yeah, you don't sound well.
What's your oxygen level running?
It's 95.
Okay.
Woo!
Just keep
I
quiet.
think they're
Keep an
touring
eye out.
Patty's house.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to put you on mute when I'm cooking. I'm cooking in the kitchen, so I don't want you to hear my noise. Do you know how
I
to
don't.
put it?
Marcia, put your vid on if you can, so we see you and can say hi. Is she there? Okay. Well,
Well, her screen's there.
her screen's there, but I don't hear her talking or I don't see any.
I
Oh,
don't
she just said
Marcia,
hi.
if you hear us, hun, Salima, Karen. Marcia, if you hear us, we can't see or hear you, just so you're aware.
Hello.
There's Salima is here.
Hey, how are you doing?
And someone else came in.
I'm Karen. I'm
Karen
Karen.
came in. Hey, Karen.
Hi, Angela. Long time no see.
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you.
I'm usually pretty quiet, but observing.
Well, feel free to jump in. The water's warm. So
How are you feeling, Angela?
I was just telling the other ladies, I feel like my chest is still like somebody's sitting on my chest all the time. And so if I talk too long, I get out of breath. But I'm better. I like certain symptoms are better. It's like every day symptoms seem to rise and fall. Now, this is the first day that I'm no longer on the prednisone that he
Okay.
prescribed me, because he prescribed me a 5 days of prednisone.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, was that 5 days ago? I feel like this thing is forever. So I took my last one of that yesterday. So maybe that's why I'm feeling a little more like weight on my chest now, because that was like opening things or whatever it was doing, you know. Connie's here. So
Angela, did your whole family get it?
my family got it, but the boys are not as bad off as me. They literally were sick maybe 2 days. My husband was sick the least. My son was sick maybe 3 days, 4 days, and for me, I got the jackpot. You know.
Are you taking any Mucinex or anything to keep that loose?
Well, I took what he gave me. He gave me this pill. I can't remember what it's called, but it's supposed to numb. It's what they give you when they do surgery, he said. And it's supposed to numb your chest and your throat so that you don't cough and stuff. It's like the same stuff they use when they squirt your throat when they go to put an intubation in. So he said that'll help eliminate your coughing a little bit. And so I'm wondering if that also made me feel like I wasn't as much weight on my chest because I was taking that. But I don't know. Anyway, so what's going on in the Outlander world that I have been zoomed out in Brooch world and have not seen? Because I've been reading these Brooch books like my hair's on fire.
There's
So-
not much out there at all, I don't think.
No, there's not been anything.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's shut down. I mean, they're all
Yeah,
on,
I think they're on summer break.
yeah.
I saw
until
something
end of
of a
August.
filming shot that looked like it was in front of some bar or something, or a tavern of some sort. I couldn't tell the guy that was walking toward the building. It looked like somebody that was in it, but I didn't recognize the guy. I was wondering if maybe that was Rob, the guy that's going to play Rob, and that was where they went to have drinks after he played the joke. They played the joke and they went out for drinks at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So because I saw that picture released. Did you guys see what I'm talking about? I'll have to find it and show it to you guys. But I saw that and I was like, I tried to zone in, but the more I zoned in, it just got blurry and I couldn't see anything because it just looked like a dark-haired person guy, but they like were taking him like he was somebody. You know what I mean? Like the person like took him like he was important. You know, as he was walking toward the thing, and he had one of the puffy coats on, which usually the actors wear to keep
Right.
him in between. So I'm thinking it's one of the actors, but I didn't recognize him. So I'm thinking maybe it's one of the crew of her,
Yeah,
you know, engineering thing or whatever it is. So I was wondering if anybody else saw that, what they thought, or if they've heard anything about and casting for Rob. I'm curious who they're going to get to play that role. That's a pretty important role, you know, in their story. So
it's been so quiet on the news front, and I think because they're on hiatus until end of August. But I hope after that we get some casting news. Otherwise, it's going to feel like a long wait.
Yes.
Chelsea, when is your trip?
oh,
to
there she
Scotland?
is. There's Marcia. I see your face now.
My trip, I leave August 19th and I'm going to
Okay.
be gone for 8 days. So
Where are you going?
I'm going to Scotland.
Oh,
Oh, I'm going to London on the 10th.
You're going to London on the 10th?
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing standby in and out. So Mom and I ended up having to buy tickets home from Edinburgh because Heathrow Airport has put restrictions on employees non-revving in and out. So my plan to get home was I was going to be stuck over there. So we had to buy tickets home out of Scotland because London's being a piece of work. I love it, but
what areas are you seeing this time, Chelsea?
so we're spending 2 days in Edinburgh, and then we're going up over to a couple of the islands and like coastal towns. So we're
Which
doing
ones?
we're doing Oban. I'm not sure. We're staying in Oban 2 nights. I'm not sure what islands we're doing because we're like doing the islands and then we're coming back to like a coastal fishing village to stay the night. And then we're staying in Plockton a couple of nights, which is this tiny little village. It has 3 restaurants in the entire village, and 2 of them are not open for dinner.
Oh,
Wow.
So
I guess that limits your choices, huh?
I made reservations because I'm like, what if the one restaurant that does dinner is booked and I don't know anybody? So I made reservations for us. I got those confirmations this morning, but I'm like, oh, this is a really tiny town. But yeah, we're excited.
How long are you in London for, Kimberly?
We'll be there from the 10th. We fly in on an overnight flight. We'll get there on the 11th in the morning and stay until Saturday the 20th.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a bit of time.
Let me say a quick hi to Karen and Amanda that have popped into the room.
Hello.
So hey, hello. Amanda, how are you doing? Karen?
We're doing good.
What are you eating, Karen?
Coffee ice cream.
Mm. Very good.
I just had coffee. Well, it's afternoon now.
Looks very sunny. It looks very sunny where you are, Amanda.
It's 98 here. I need that ice cream.
Where are you at, Susan?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Uh,
And the
It
heat
actually has been like a cool wave here. So it's been like 82 the past couple of days, and it's been
Hey,
so
I'm not
nice.
complaining. I have air conditioning at least. I know a lot of
Yes.
people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 89 here in Atlanta, Susan. So that tracks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in. It's not too bad in Virginia. So it's in the
Yeah.
80s today. So it's not 90. So
Right. Yeah. It's not
Wow.
100, so we'll take it.
yeah.
I'm in Chicago. I'm actually in Chicago now for a conference. And it's
Nice here, isn't it?
it's been beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it was 77 the day I got here on Friday, and it's been
Yeah.
82.
But
Like,
look out, because it's going to get really hot this week.
well,
Are you there for work, Connie?
I'm here for a conference that
For
starts
work?
today. Yeah, for work. Yeah. So I'm on a board of directors. I'm actually president of the board. So we had a board meeting yesterday, and then our conference actually starts tonight. So opening ceremony, opening reception and such, but yeah. So I had to go do a little speech. I got completely turned around by the timing, because when I'm home, I know that, the time, I know what time it is. And I'm like, here, I'm like, wait, she said 3 o'clock. Wait, what time is it here? What's my time difference? I was completely, because I thought, oh no, I'm going to be in the middle of my speech. Because in my head, I was like, oh, 12 o'clock. Oh, so 1 o'clock. And I'm like, oh no, that's not it. It's anyway.
Where's home, Connie?
I'm from San Francisco, Bay Area.
Okay. Yeah. I lived there for 3 years in law school. Yeah.
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 So-
Yeah. It's the time change. I drove my stepmother Wisconsin to Denver last year. And there was a whole time zone that I had just completely forgotten.
Yeah. So I got upgraded. I don't know if you can see, I got upgraded.
Ooh.
Whoa.
My table,
Wow.
my view. I don't know if
We
you
can
can see
all fit in there with you.
Wow.
Can you see the view?
Right.
I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see it so bright. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So Lake Michigan and the rivers down here. But yeah, I have a pool table.
Oh, wow.
I walked in and I was like, oh, okay. So I have a pool table, and then
Yes, you got an
my
upgrade.
bedroom's like back here, and a bathroom and a kitchen. And
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
This is my last year as president, so this is the last time I'm going to get this kind of an upgrade. But this is how
It
I
used to
get
be
paid.
the big cheese.
What's that?
I said it's nice to be the big cheese.
It is. It is. I get paid in room upgrades.
There you go.
All good.
So I wanted to let you also know, depending on how I feel, I'll make the call for sure mid-August or later August. But I found out, somebody gave me a heads up that on I believe it's the second weekend in September, is Culper Spy Day at Seatucket.
Mm-hmm.
And in Long Island. And so it's like they have 30 different organizations there that are all surrounding, have all different tours and people doing, I live in history and all that other stuff right there in at the sites of the row house and all the different things. And so that's going to be on the Saturday. And so I figured I'm going to see if maybe make a weekend out of it. And there's also very close by Teddy Roosevelt's home. So I know for people that like the Brooch series, and that's a big popular thing, he's involved in a lot of it. So I'm not there yet for those stories, but I know that's coming. So people might be interested in that. We could take a day and maybe go visit that. But anyway, I'm going to try to go myself. It's not like this big orchestration like I had for Philly Swarm or anything, but like a little mini weekend thing. And if anybody wants to come, oh, here's Carlotta. I'll give you more details on it, but it's called Culper Spy Day.
Okay.
In Seatucket, and it's basically run by, it's called the three. It's
Hey,
called.
Carlotta.
It's called. Hi, Carlotta.
Hello.
It's called the three town historical or something towns. It's basically these 3 towns together that make up like this really a lot of history in the area. So they're like, they put it on. And apparently this is the 5th or 6th year that they've done it.
So that's what you were wanting to put together over like September 11th weekend?
Yes, thank
Gotcha.
you. That's the weekend. I couldn't remember the thing, so I was going to post it. But anyway, that's the weekend. I'm thinking of doing like a Friday to a Sunday, and I have a hotel. There's a Holiday Inn that's right nearby. So anyway, I just want to give you a heads up. I don't know if anybody would be interested in going with me. I know it's very kind of last thrown together thing, but I thought with us doing turn, it was just so perfect, and it would be a fun little weekend for people that are easy to get to this, to make a little weekender trip here. You know, if you're far, I don't expect you to like fly in for that, but or anything. But if you're somebody that wants to come, or you are the type that will jet like Chelsea, you know, that can do it easily. But otherwise, you know, I'm not looking for it to be a big thing like we did with Philly Storm. It's not gonna be to that extent. First of all, I'm not healthy enough to play, but I can say, well, we can go to this on this day, and we can go to that on that day, you know, and it's only for 2-3 days, so I can manage that. So if anybody would like to like pencil it, put a circle around it, it is something that we're doing with what we're doing currently. So I thought it would be a fun, immersive experience. So that's what I want to tell you about that. And to anybody out there watching the Zoom that is interested, and I'll put information about it. I'm on their email list, so I'm waiting to get more information about exactly what they're doing, but it looks like fun, you know. So then it would be neat to see these real places and the sound, and how, you know, they have people pretending they're Anna Strong, and they're all the different characters that were at play, and they have a museum there, and so it would be cool to see.
What would be the closest airport to that? Do you know?
Long Island.
Okay.
I mean, that's where it is. It's
on Long Island. So it'd be probably JFK.
Islip, isn't there an airport in Islip?
Well, it has to be like a big airport that I
Okay.
use my benefits to get into. So probably JFK would be for me. Okay.
I will actually be in the 18th century at that date.
You will?
I will.
Are you going through stones that we don't know about?
They got a brooch. She found a brooch somewhere.
Found a brooch.
Yeah. You know, it's called opera.
Oh, yeah.
So, and we all know about Beaumarchais, right?
Beaumarchais, yeah.
So, Marriage of Figaro.
Oh.
18th century play in opera. So there you go.
Very good.
I don't get to wear those clothes though.
Everybody on stage you'd be thanking yourself for that. Like, they may look cool, but I'm pretty sure they're really uncomfortable.
Some women like corsets to sing in. Some hate them, but some like them.
I don't know how you can expand your diaphragm the way that you need to sing in a corset.
It's not the that's not, the diaphragm is not it. You don't. It's a different, like, it's the muscles below and all that. So
it's your
like I
stomach.
said, some people don't like it, but a lot of people like corsets.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was just a detour.
Not very entertaining.
I remember in one of the chats with Sophie and Richard and Cesar and Lauren that apparently Sophie and Katrina did some negotiating, and I'm sure, of course, Kat was pregnant, not to have the stays, to have to wear it, and Lauren didn't know about that.
I know, she was like,
oh,
well,
no.
yeah. Tell me.
And she was like, wait, what?
Oh.
This new show looks really good.
Whose show?
Lauren Lyle.
Yeah, her Karen Peary show. Yeah.
I hope there's a way we can watch it in our neck of the woods.
I think that the major networks are shopping for it, so we'll probably get it at some point.
She did say in
when
one
it
of
comes
the
out, I'll try
the
trick Salima suggested. So
yeah.
I think it should work, Veronica, because I used to use that to watch US TV, and it worked fine that way. So hopefully it'll work with us.
Hopefully it's both ways.
She did say on her Instagram that they are, I don't know whether they're sort of shopping it round or whether it's already in process and they just can't announce it. But somebody from Australia and somebody from the US asked her about watching it, and she said that they should be able to.
Well, maybe it will be on the on BritBox.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that an app we get?
I was wondering about that too.
Could be.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Liz. Hello.
How are
Sorry,
you?
I'm late. Just been watching the women's football win for the Euros. First time in many years that the women's football have won, and they beat the Germans. Yay!
Yay!
Awesome.
Sorry.
It's a good day.
Yes.
I'm actually,
Yes, lots of celebrating going on the telly.
What else is
I'm
everybody
getting ready for
doing?
getting ready for my holiday again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Angela, you feeling any better at all?
I'm feeling, just like I said, a lot of chest pressure.
Oh no.
So it's like I cannot talk for like little short spurts, which is not good for me.
Oh.
Just talk with your hands.
Angela, to always be able to talk in short spurts.
Book club is limited to 10-minute segments for the.
I mean, honestly, that's just not my speed.
No.
Are you still testing positive, or are you negative by now?
I haven't tested. I wasn't sure when I'm supposed to try and test again, because Lord knows I'm not.
Well, I mean, if you're not going anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Is that what it is? You're still just symptomatic, but you're clear? Is that normal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
you're not.
So you might not be
infectious anymore.
contagious at all.
I
But
think when
you're
it goes, everything else should go with it.
Right.
If you're not contaminated anymore, why is all the other stuff still there?
it would be such a big deal, you know, if it were like that, unfortunately.
It wouldn't be.
But they're trying, I guess they're releasing vaccine in the fall that is restructured to be more efficient toward Omicron.
Yeah, it's
That'll
just
be
going to
good.
be like flu shots. We're going to have to get our COVID shots every fall.
A booster every year. Yeah.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Right?
Better than getting sick.
How many of you have gotten COVID out of our little whatever we
I
had?
got it twice.
14 people.
Yeah, I've had it twice.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Oh God, don't tell me that.
Thank God I've not had it. Not had it yet.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I've had it.
Was it the same both times, Chelsea? Or was the second time easier or something? Because
I wasn't hit hard either time with it. It was just a bad cold for me. Lots of sinus pressure for a couple of days. The first time I had it,
Did you have a hard time breathing? Like a lot
no,
of
I never had any breathing issues.
She's
The
young.
only thing that the first time I had it, I had a lingering cough for like 3 weeks afterwards, 3 or 4 weeks. Just not anything that was congested at all. It was just like if I would talk for an extended period of time, I would just randomly go. But
My daughter and granddaughter both had it twice. And the second time, my daughter had a horrible cough, like I've never heard before, for about a month, but it's gone now.
Yeah.
They got
I
better.
will be very glad to say goodbye to this.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and hopefully nobody has long COVID. I've listened to Mary talk about girls with long
She
COVID.
seems better though, doesn't she? It
Awful.
seems like better.
she
It
seems
seems
like
like
she's
that.
getting better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course,
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
she's
we're
able
only
to
seeing
tell.
what she's putting out to the world.
Yeah.
So
Right.
true.
I
Yeah,
think she's trying really hard, but
yeah, she's definitely trying really hard.
It's terrible. It's that kind of chronic fatigue part of it that is kind of scary, you know,
Yeah.
because nobody wants to not have energy.
Right.
Yeah, that sucks.
Especially-
the fatigue is horrible. I mean, literally, I can't even go to the bathroom. By the time I get to the bathroom, I'm like catching my breath. I said, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm ancient," you know. I mean, it's like you know, I get to just the bathroom and I'm like literally I'm in sweats.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you know, like all clammy. And Tom's like, and like I went to get down to get dinner, and I went to the stove, and I went back and I I came back down and sat down, and I was like, Tom looked at me. He's like, okay, look, just relax, take a breath, don't eat, don't do anything. You know, you look like hell. You look like you're about to pass out. I said, I just cannot imagine how fatigued you feel from the littlest thing, you know? And that's the deceptive thing of it, because even when you feel better, like you go, oh, I'm feeling a little better. I can do this, I can do that. And that's what made me finally say that I got to just get totally past this, because, you know, I think I could do things. And then as soon as I try, I exhaust myself, you know what I mean? Immediately. And from stupid shit, you know, stuff that shouldn't exhaust you. Going to the bathroom shouldn't exhaust you.
No, but that's what, you know, like if people who have chronic fatigue as an illness, that's what it is like, you know. So you have to be super careful when you have a burst of energy. Just like, don't treat it like you're all better, because you will crash and it's worse, and then it takes longer to get better again. So just like take it easy, even if you feel better. Like, just be happy and sit there.
Yeah. Yeah. Store it up. Yeah.
Dr. Veronica has spoken.
Store up the energy. And then
I don't have a doctorate even in my
thing,
but that's okay.
Oh, I like what are you eating, Liz? That looks good.
It's a mint magnum.
A mint magnum.
Oh, nice.
Well, those
Nice
things
creamy chocolate around the outside.
So what's everybody else been doing this summer?
So I broke my ankle at the beginning.
Oh no!
Why? Yeah, so I'm sitting here. Fortunately, I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but you've got two bones on your lower leg, the tibia, which supports most of your weight, and the fibula. And so the part that makes the joint that sticks out on the outward side of our ankles is the end of the tibia, and I cracked it just above that.
Oh God!
It's not. Oh, it's like it bears only 30% of our weight or something like that. So I had to stay in the bed for 2 weeks, with my leg up and food, and now I'm in this like lace up. It's like a foot corset. It's got laces and it wraps.
It's a foot corset.
Yeah, foot corset. So hopefully by the time we land in London, I'll be able to just use that and not have to bring the blasted boot with me, because I know London's a walking city, even around and everything.
And when are you going?
It's on the 10th. We fly. We'll get there on the 11th.
What did the doctor say? You were still going to have it?
He's kind of a wait and see guy. He was like, he took a look at it after 2 weeks. He's like, okay, you can put weight on it now. The only way we'll be able to tell if you need surgery is if you put weight on it. Yeah.
What kind of crap is that? What kind of crap is that?
I know. So I've been doing low impact exercise and walking short distances with the foot corset on. So
the foot corset. You can tell we all like historical fiction.
Totally.
Can you picture Jamie removing a foot corset from clothing?
There you go.
I'm sure he'd make it look real sexy.
Maybe two of them.
Foot stays.
Foot stays.
It's a foot stay. Yeah. There you go.
See, it doesn't sound like any kind of medical issue. It just sounds fashionable.
My sister-in-law was like, you should just wear your Doc Martens when you're walking around London. And the sports doctor that's in the practice, he's like, no, you need to wear supportive tennis, like athletic shoes.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a lot of walking. Yeah. And I was really excited to go tour like all of London's cemeteries. And I just feel like the very, very old things, there's going to be lots of rocks. And if you had, two healthy feet, it would be hard to get around.
So I don't know if I would take an international trip if I was in a cast or any kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Kind of restriction. I feel like I don't get to go often. which I haven't gone ever really, but when I go, I want to be able to not be as least restrictive as possible. So I would hate
Yeah.
that, like I was going and, you know, not able to do stuff. I would hate that feeling. So
Kimberly,
it's-
what I would maybe recommend is London has the double decker like touring buses that you
Oh, we're
can
gonna
hop
do that
on
the
and hop
first
off.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing though, because it's basically like Uber, but a hell of a lot cheaper. It hits all the places and it's like $20 a day.
That's
And
great.
yeah, and you can like, so instead of walking a ton, you could probably do that and just hit the highlights. And there are like
a hop on, hop off thing.
there are spokes
Yeah.
around the major things where there's a little thing to do here and a little thing to do here. So you could probably do that, and that would be a lot easier on your foot.
Yeah. I want to try and do the things that require walking.
Uh-oh,
We lost her again.
dad face.
I know.
Okay, I think it's raining. Hang on, I have to go look.
It's so exciting. We're all holding our breath and praying for rain, Veronica.
Yeah.
We actually, it's so funny because I'm in Chicago and I got an alert that
I
there
thought I
was
can't
rain.
believe
And I looked out the window and I was like, oh, go. And then I go, and I looked, I go, oh, there's rain in Livermore. But I got the alert on my watch. It was weird.
And where?
Well, at home, well, Veronica and I live in the same place. So at home in Livermore, I got an alert that there's rain there, but I'm not there. I'm in Chicago.
I see.
And it threw me off because I looked out the window and I was like, it doesn't look like rain.
Is it windy? Like you
No,
always hear the Chicago is the windy city. So
It is the windy city, but it is not windy. It is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, like I said, it's absolute. I mean, it's gorgeous. No humidity or very low humidity.
Oh,
Yeah, it's nice.
oh, Connie, it's raining here.
I know
mean,
that's
can
what I
barely
got the
see
alert.
rain, but it smells rainy and there's spots on the ground.
I got an alert. I was
Oh,
just
that's
saying,
brilliant.
I got an alert, Veronica, on my watch that said it's raining, and I was like, what? But it was
So
raining. It's
exciting.
raining in Livermore. I should ask
Like-
him.
It doesn't do it in July.
I heard we were gonna get rain.
So does Veronica live in Livermore also?
No.
I'm in Sunnyvale.
Oh,
So
okay.
it
I'm in
doesn't-
Modesto.
Oh,
It's just hot here.
well, since this is our first Zoom since the Philly swarm, I know we heard a lot from Selena. So Connie is the only other person I see that's here, I think, unless somebody can correct me, that was there.
Carlotta was
So,
there for a minute.
Give me
I
who?
got 1 meal. I was there for 1 meal.
He was there for 1 meal.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so both of you can say, your impressions of the trip, what you enjoyed. Well, of course, for Carlotta, how it was to meet everybody, and for Connie, since she was there from A to Z.
It was amazing. And honestly, it was. My husband too was with us, and we both like left. And first of all, he was, like moaning and groaning, like he hates like going with crowds of people and stuff in the beginning, like before we went. But during the whole trip, he's like, he loved everybody and loved like we had so much fun. We were doing so many things. It was literally, we both walked away and we're like, one of the best trips we've ever been on.
Oh, that makes,
Yeah.
I have to be wary of my little Mikey thing.
Yeah.
That makes me feel so good.
It was so awesome. I mean, we were exhausted and like Thursday, so everybody left on Wednesday and we stayed till Friday. And so we were like, what are we going to do on Thursday? And I'm like, I don't care, but I am not setting an alarm. And we're waking up whenever we wake up because I was so tired. And it was raining on Thursday morning. But, we talked about this when we were on the trip, was like, what was your favorite part? I mean, it's hard to pick because it was all so amazing, but truly, because I'd never done this before, is the reenactment at Monmouth was probably one of my favorite things that we did, because it was so different and got so much out of it. We also had the best weather.
God, that was just such a godsend.
I know. I feel like I've been so lucky lately with all my traveling. I've had like some amazing weather. Like, you go to the East Coast, people are like, oh, be prepared for the humidity. And I was like, yeah, we didn't have hardly any. I mean, maybe what
It was
that
like the
Tuesday.
gods were smiling on me before they were going to slam me with this COVID. They said, let me give her a nice
Yeah, a nice outing.
experience.
And Philly was amazing. Like all the things, like I loved the connections we had to, you know, to the Outlander books, but then we were still, it was like real history. It was real history, but it was, you know, but it was the Outlander history, and it was amazing. And seeing
And your
everybody.
husband is a geek
Selima
for a
was there
history.
too.
Who?
And Selima, she's here. She was there.
Yeah, I know, but because I did a big thing with
Oh,
her, I
that's
wanted
right,
to give
that's
other
right.
people a chance to talk.
Yeah.
I did that big interview with her.
That's
so
right. And that was
a
really
lot
good,
of that.
by the way. Great interview. That was really fun.
So
Yeah,
Lisa,
that was amazing.
that was a
I mean, of
really
course,
long trip for
Selena can
you.
talk too. I'm not saying
Right.
you don't talk. I just wanted to hear from the others too,
Yeah.
to give them a chance.
Well,
to
and it
give
was
their
so great to
impressions.
meet everybody, right? Because like I felt like, you know, you'd think I'm traveling across the country to go meet up with people that I've never met before. You know, I tell people this story and they were like, what? And I feel like we all know each other, right? It was not awkward. It was,
I agree.
and I like with Janine and her husband Scott, who rode in the car with Tim and I for the first couple of days. We became great friends, and I just was down in Newport a couple of weeks ago to visit my brother, and I met up with Janine for dinner, Janine and Scott for dinner, and it was just awesome. We just had, you know, these immediate connections. I mean, like I said, just felt it was so comfortable, and it was awesome to meet everybody in person. So,
oh, that's good. That's good. And your husband seemed to really enjoy it because he's a history buff too, right?
Oh yeah, he loved it. He, like I said, he came back and he's like,
he took pictures of every little sign. I was like looking at all his posts because he friended me, so I could see all his posts. Actually, I saved a couple pictures for the video journal, and he took so many pictures and so many things, like very close up, like the signs of everything and all.
Yeah,
you know,
he likes to read them later, so he can read them later, because he has really poor vision. So for him, it's like he takes it and then he can, you know, zoom in on it and like read what we saw. He does that all the time. But yeah, he takes lots of pictures. But he had such an amazing time. He said this, like I said, best trip. He's like, this is one of the best trips that we, you know. So
is he an Outlander fan?
No.
Aw.
He's just he knows how much of a fan I am, and he's been very supportive. And I mean, we went to Scotland in 2017 and 2019, and he went all the Outlander tours with me. And so for him, it wasn't about Outlander, it was about the historic places we were going to.
Right.
So, and the same
thing.
thing.
It was nice because we had four guys that came. So none of the guys felt like, oh, I'm the only guy with all these crazy women that love, you know, Outlander. And so they all kind of had a little bit that they could bond over. I know that
Mick and Scott
got along really well, you know, and they kind of got chummy. They were like I had like a little walker that kept breaking down, and they were like my heroes in that. You know, because one of them's an engineer, and Scott, I can't remember what does Scott do, but he was into it too. Like the two of them were like they had a problem to solve. You know, typical man thing. They were like, okay, we got the problem, and we're gonna solve the problem. And it was so embarrassing because here I am in these tours where, you know, everything is scheduled when you're on a tour. You know, you only have this person for 3 hours. They, you know, you have this person for 3 hours and they have everything just mapped out. And then here I am having a breakdown in the middle, of the thing. And I'm like, oh, this is awful.
It was all good.
Here I brought
In
this
the end,
thing
it
to
all
make it
worked out.
easier. Yeah.
Oh,
so
I'd definitely go back to Philly, and I'd love to. I mean, I really enjoyed New Jersey. Like, so beautiful, especially, you know, the area. Like, I've never been. It's my first time to New Jersey.
You're kidding.
No, never. I've never been. And my first time to Philly as well. So we loved it.
Well, you were in a very rural area of Jersey. Now, if you know, huh? Who was that? I heard a man voice. Did everybody hear that?
Sorry,
You have an earlobe.
that's Nick in the background. I'll mute myself. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I was just thinking, I'm imagining things. You're welcome to, if the guy wants to say hi, that's fine. But anyway, I can't remember what the hell I was thinking. But yes, I was going to say you saw a rural area, but there's also, like the coastal area. Jersey Shore is a thing to say and a thing to do, and then of course the thing that Jersey gets like the rap for like the stuff that's right around New York, where it's a lot more congestion and city and smog and all that other crap, like Newark area. But that's not all Jersey by a long shot, So in Monmouth, it's very rural, Monmouth State Battle Park. And you guys will see it because I'm putting together a video journal of the whole trip that I'm going to post. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to work a little on that this week, since it's something I can do without, I just have the little things I'm going to talk in between, and I'll have to save those spots for when I can do it better. But yeah, it'll be a really cool thing when I ever get it up. I did take a lot of video and I took a lot of pictures, and I had everybody send me their pictures and stuff. So hopefully
you finally get the ones I sent. Did they come through?
Yes.
Okay.
So I know I've said this before, but when you're ready to do a southern swarm, there in Charleston, and I'm in Atlanta, but I have a lot of ties to Savannah.
Yes.
I like doing logistics and organizing things, so I'm happy to help you.
Oh, I will definitely get in touch. That means that you'll come, which is good too.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the way to make sure you're there.
I will be there. I wanted to go to Philly, but I just had some work trips, and it was probably a good thing I didn't go, because I think I got COVID right around then, and I probably would have had. But I absolutely love American Revolutionary War. We always have since I was a little girl, and went to Philly. I begged my take me to Philadelphia as a kid, and we didn't see Monmouth, but my dad is from Hackensack, so we went over to northern New Jersey. I've never been anywhere outside of there, but yeah. So Savannah would be fantastic, or I will go to Charleston too.
Well, yeah, that's what one of the ones I want to plan is a combination of Charleston and Savannah. I did like this one. We did a combination of Jersey, Monmouth, and Philly.
It's Susan. What's the drive from Savannah
to Charleston? It's a hike, less than 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. And part of it is the way that the highways have to go.
Right.
Lots of little inlets and islands, intercoastal waterway. It's not just like a straight. I-95 is your straight shot, but.
There's not an interstate all the way from Charleston to Savannah. Part of the way there is, but part of it is just older roads.
Yeah, I've done the drive. It's a beautiful drive.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We do that. We kind of, it's kind of like a, that's kind of what I like to do is have it where it's like a traveling little swarm, So we kind of are doing, not just one little space area, but we kind of make it an extended, like a 5-day thing, and we take this couple days here and a couple days there. I like that we did it this way on this trip, and I kind of like to develop trips around like that. You know what I mean? Even when we go over to the mountainside eventually of North Carolina, that's another thing I want to do. It'll be that we also check out, Old Salem, and some of the other things that are in the books that are in the surrounding areas of the Piedmont region and all that kind of stuff. So, it won't just be that we're sitting there in Boone all day or whatever. So, that's kind of my thought on it. I want to kind of make it.
Well, that's all driving distance for me. So
to me, 2 hours is not a huge thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
We did an hour and a half or whatever. We went out to, we drove and did stuff, we didn't just stay right there in historic Philadelphia. Although we took a day where we were just there, really a day and a half. But we kind of spent time here, time there. We went up to Bristol to see Carlotta. What'd you think of Carlotta meeting everybody? She's still here?
I am.
It was my
that
favorite part
wasn't
of the
for
trip,
you.
since that was my only part of the trip.
Actually, it was one of my favorite parts of the trip. That was my favorite restaurant
That restaurant
we
was
ate.
so wonderful.
Yeah, it was a great
so
restaurant. I
old, so
wish that we had
historic,
spent more time in Bristol.
They were really
Yeah.
accommodating.
Where
The
did you
room-
guys
The room we
eat?
had was perfect. The table organization, everything. And
I love that it was a big round table, and so
Yeah.
everybody could even like see. I hated where every time we would get a restaurant, we'd be at these long galley type of table things where if you were on this side of the table, you couldn't hear what was going on that side of the table. You couldn't interact, as much. You were kind of in like your little clusters around the table, Whereas with ours, it was this big circle. I felt like, like the Knights of the Round Table or something in there.
But we were so close.
It's like
too.
a
We
big
weren't at
square,
a
right?
great distance from each other. Yeah, it was a big square.
Yeah, I guess it was a square, but it was a big, like it felt circular almost.
Yeah,
the way
but they
we were
still had
sitting.
it was wonderful. It was perfect. And the food was great
And the
too.
chef came out, the owner came out and talked to us like, we were big shits. Gave us this whole rundown. And, I said, oh, I feel like some special thing. I got the guy to come out and like give us the history. And, he like, gave us his whole spiel. And then the area was really beautiful. It was right on the waterfront. And they had, it was called Monument Park. And if you walk through this park, it had like little monuments to all the different cultures. They had like a monument to Italian culture and Black history, and they have Harriet Tubman. They had the Celtic cross, different things for represent. So it was a really nice little walk. We walked after dinner for a little bit, maybe a half hour or something like that, or the park thing. So I thought that was a really lovely night. I'm really glad we did that. And we only did that because we wanted to meet up with Carlotta. So it was a great. Plus, it was the oldest restaurant or something in the United States. Oldest.
wow.
Continuously serving.
Wow.
Yeah, continuously running since the 1600s.
Yeah. It was,
Whoa.
it was awesome.
But I didn't. I did you guys go outside? I didn't do any walking. Like I went outside. Scott and I went out there and just looked at the water. I think he and Janine went out and maybe walked, but we never. I wish we had gotten there a little earlier. It would have been nice to see it because it looked really cool. The little town looked really cute.
Yes, it did. Yeah, no, I just wanted to be able to see the monuments. So I went and did like a quick walk up and down. I saw maybe 4 of them, I just kind of went up like 2 or 3 blocks worth and then down. So it wasn't a big deal.
I should have done that. Yeah, I wanted to see the monuments too.
I wish I could have done the whole tour. Bristol, where the restaurant was, it was like 40 minutes from my house. I mean, I was born in Philadelphia. I got my undergraduate degree at Temple, my graduate degree at St. Joe's, and live right outside of the city now. So, and I loved history too, but I've got several things wrong with my spine, so I can't walk or stand long. So the rest of the trip was not. So I was really bummed.
Did your daughter enjoy meeting everybody?
I toured with students to Europe 14 times and toured. So I'm a touring person. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Angela?
I said, did your daughter enjoy the whole coming?
Yeah, she really liked everybody, and that was a great idea because you encouraged me to go. I just said, oh, I can't go, not possible. And even when you said, we'll meet us for dinner, I'm there, oh, I can't go because I can't drive after dark, blah, blah. I'm such an old lady. And then you said, have your sister or your daughter. I'm like, oh, wait, maybe my daughter will go with me. And it was nice. It was a lovely experience for the
Well,
team.
I'm glad you pushed yourself out of the box. Because you don't get to meet all your friends from all over the place like this.
I loved everyone.
So it's a rare opportunity, you know what I mean? And
I got to meet you in person, and you too, Connie. I didn't. Selima, we just missed each other.
Next time,
Oh, I hope so. I don't know. Are you going to come any closer?
There's this big pond in the middle.
I'm looking forward to next August for the Highlanders 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a ticket for that. It'll probably be my very first over the pond trip ever. And I'm like, what am I, 50 something, 54 now? So it's been, I've lived a long life with never having traveled. Furthest I've ever gone is Hawaii, but that's still the United States. So first time international. I have a passport that has 0 stamps. I'm so embarrassed with myself.
Angela, though, like the UK is closer than Hawaii.
I know.
Say, that's a
For you guys,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
The Hawaii is still the US, but
Yeah,
you've
but
been further technically.
Yeah.
Angela,
I guess I haven't been to another country and experienced like, things that just work differently than what I'm used to being home.
Yeah.
Like, they have different money and I guess a little bit of that's intimidating to me because I've never done it. So I feel like I don't know all the procedures of everything and how you get things to be workable in a different place, and how,
at
how
least we
things
speak
work,
English over
how
here.
things work, I guess it's pretty streamlined because there's so much international travel out there. I'm just kind of like
Yeah.
the stupid country girl that doesn't get out of her
It'll be good. It'll be good.
no, you're not.
I've never been
Yeah.
there.
In getting ready for this trip, we've been trying to book some things ahead of time, and everything in England is on 24-hour time. So
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
AM,
actually
PM?
switched. It's 15:56 right now, actually.
Yeah.
No, I switched my phone in preparation for it.
2056. It's
Well,
2056.
for them, it's 15.
Well, Here.
Yeah.
It has AM, PM? They don't do AM, PM in Philadelphia?
Well, we do
In
both.
Philadelphia. In England?
We do
We do
both.
both. Yeah.
But you
Oh.
will, when you
I
have
was
to
gonna
book
say I
it-
just booked my dinner reservations in Scotland and they were doing AM PM.
Yeah.
In
It's
London,
interesting.
it's like
Either's
24-hour time.
acceptable.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what time that is. We're looking for
Just
the
take
West
12
End.
off it.
See, I work in the airline industry and we deal with 24-hour time. So
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
even notice a lot of times whenever I'm just like, oh, it's 4:00 in the afternoon.
Angela, I know exactly what you mean about being afraid of. When I went to Scotland in 2018, the friend that I traveled with used to live in London and she's traveled a lot. So she was like, I don't think I could have done it if I hadn't been with her. She dragged me through the airport. I just follow wherever she said to go. Then when we were in Edinburgh, like if I had to pay money, I just hold my hand out with all the change in it and she would pick out all my coins because
I had a friend with me in Europe once who did that in a school.
however much it is, and I would just look like a deer in the headlights.
You're like, Donna, just take some money over there on the tray.
They're so used to that though,
And when
Susan.
we went to some of those bathrooms where you had to pay, and it was only like 25 pence, and I was like, what's a pence? Just pick out. It was awful. But I had such a sense of security having Michelle with me because I knew that she knew everything. I knew nothing. It was, but anyway.
Hey, at least we speak English over here.
Yes.
So we'll take good care of you.
The holidays abroad that I've been on, I went to France and I went to Italy, and they don't speak English there, so it's like it's a whole different ball game. Right.
I had that too. I was traveling with because I travel a lot. I've traveled quite a bit in Europe, but my sister, I'm usually at my sister's in Amsterdam, and we had been in Amsterdam, and then we'd gone to France, and then all of a sudden we were in England, and we were in London, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I understand what everybody's saying. I felt like I was deaf for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like we get to London, I was like, oh my God, I can actually walk in and order something rather than telling my sister, hey, can you ask for this? Because she speaks French and Dutch.
I did speak French at school, so I've got my French O level, so I managed. I can ask for stuff around the shop and I can ask for directions, but it's very.
I feel like we just did like sign language
slowly. I taught
Isn't a lot of stuff in France bilingual? So that
it is.
like the rest, like the menus, aren't they? Do they have it like where it's in stuff in both languages or anything like that? No.
If
it's
a big chain, then yes. But if it's a tiny place, then only in French. Yeah.
And I find honestly in most of Europe, unless you're in a more rural area, most people speak English, and it's just the efforts and over time I've learned how to pick out chicken and a menu regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I found when I went to Rome. Actually, all the wait staff, most wait staff in Rome are required to speak English. It's a
Oh, wow.
requirement for them because they have, so it's the universal language. So if you have, whether you have a tourist from China or the US, they speak English. That's how they communicate. So a lot of the employees in the service industry are required to speak English in those big cities like that.
Although I was really surprised, I went to Barcelona and I was actually really surprised how few people spoke English. And that was, I mean, that was 2004. So it's been quite a few years, but I was really surprised at how few people spoke English. But I mean, again, it was more like, oh, it's like an international city. So it just surprised me. But
that's why I'm like hesitant to go to Paris, not because I don't think people don't speak English, but like everybody, all my friends that I know that have been to Paris, they're like, the French people are so like, treat you as a nuisance almost.
Really? I
like,
never found that.
That was not my
I've heard
experience.
that too, that they're not friendly.
I've heard that
Oh,
too.
they're
That's
so,
not
I
true.
never have had a problem in France.
Right, same with
well,
me.
my brother was, and I don't know whether it was because he was like in the military, but he was in civilian clothes when he went to France, and he was in Toulon, and he said he was treated like straight up garbage by every local that he met there.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think
When
it's
was
like that
this?
now.
So
I don't think
Chelsea,
I-
when was that?
very recently, like
Okay.
3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
I think there's a history of that, though. I was in France mid 70s, so 1970s. The Vietnam War was still going on, and people thought that I was an Asian tourist, like from Japan, if I was quiet. But once I opened my mouth to start speaking, and it was obvious that I'm speaking English, I really got the cold shoulder. So I think part of it is political too. What was happening during the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You
Well, that's
guys,
too
I
bad.
have to check out, but it was a lot of fun. And Angela, when you do the Southern Hive trip,
Yeah.
Kimberly and I are your girls.
Yes.
Take care.
There we go. Yes, I'm excited. Now I have connections, local connections that can help me plan. Because I had, this was all local for me. So I was able to kind of, but I did everything. I didn't go places. I did everything via, calling and dealing with them on the internet and, email and stuff. So I can do that across the way. But you guys know I knew a lot of the ins, here, because it's my turf. So I can get the ins from you about the best places to go. And I have been to Savannah. I went through Charleston, but I didn't really visit Charleston. But I visited and stayed in Savannah on a trip, and they actually have this little tea shop there. That's a bookstore, and it's called the lady is a fan of Outlander, and so she kind of modeled the whole thing like a Malcolm print shop, only she called it shavers, booksellers, and whatever. And she has like the sign that kind of has like the A Malcolm look to it, like the old look to it. And so inside there's half of it's the tea shop and half of it's like a used bookstore or whatever. And the teas, they make their own teas. And they have a whole line of Outlandery teas, Jimmy Fraser blend and Claire Fraser blend and, Outlander blend, and stuff. So it's kind of neat. And they have like little specialized tins that, had their pictures on it and stuff. So I know there's that there that's Outlander related, but now that we have a couple books that have scenes in Savannah, there would be good amount to see there, and Charleston.
Oh yeah.
I've always wanted to go to the South. Can't wait.
So that'll be fun. We'll definitely be planning that one.
All right, ladies, I enjoyed seeing y'all today.
Hi, Susan.
Bye, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because we can cut it short if you want.
Well, I just got a message from my musical kiddo who has sent me a couple of samples of the theme thing that he's working on for you.
Oh, I'm so excited. I was going to ask you how it was.
Yeah, so he's working on that right now.
That's awesome. I have her, she has a friend that's making me a mashup of out of the Skyboat song and the Turn song that when I do the little section of my podcast, and I'm doing the part where I talk about outlandish connections between the two shows, I'm going to like intro it with this little sound bit that she has one of her music clients making for me. So I can't wait to hear.
So cool.
You know, it'll be like this little intro of like how are they like bridging lines between the two shows and stuff.
That's genius.
So
You've just sent me a long message about pivot notes that's gone completely over the top of my head, not having any musical knowledge whatsoever.
So I'll have to debut it all for you when I finally get this thing able to record. I feel so bad. I'm really sorry, everybody, that I've started all these things on the fire and they're just, like sitting there simmering.
I've been traveling so much, I haven't been able to keep up on any of it. So actually, I was kind of glad.
I was listening to chapter 6 and 7 today on drums. I was listening to
I'm reading drums too. I'm moving way ahead. Yeah.
I'm behind.
I love it.
I'm behind as well. I'm behind on it.
Behind as well.
Yeah.
I'm almost done with the Echo Book Club from 2 years ago. I think I have
so
like
good, though.
4 or 5 videos left. So
wow.
I lose track. I can't even keep track. I make notes and I lose the notes, you know. Where was I on which video?
I got so wrapped up in the Brooch series that I'm like,
that's what that's why I've been going through that too.
I've just finished listening to them for the second time.
I just starting the diamond one. I just started the diamond one. So
that's Amy.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one, Angela.
Amy
so far I think I'm already liking. I mean, I'm only 3 chapters into it, but I'm really liking it so far.
That's
I like the connection. I like the connection they built to the last book in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed
I have a feeling
as
there has to be a purpose to this whole thing with this girl somehow.
Yeah. As each book goes along, in the last couple of chapters, they'll mention something like,
I noticed that pattern. Yeah, like they'll introduce the next book in the end of the last book.
Oh, yeah, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
there's a lot of bridging like that.
The next book,
she plans it a little bit because she can do that, because she does that really well. You know, the only thing I wasn't crazy about is that sometimes I didn't notice it as much as this, but sometimes like things are just kind of wrapped too. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I said it in the messenger thread. But
wound up too quickly at the end.
It's just kind of like too neat quickly, you know. It doesn't feel like it earned its ending, I guess, if you want to call it that. I don't know if it makes sense, but different books, they just kind of feel like boom, 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 everything's just solved, you know.
I think that is something that is very much the first few books. And as you get into the bigger later books, it all becomes way more entangled. And like the last book, Sunstone Brooch, and the next book, Bloodstone Brooch, are basically continuations of the same story. So the Bloodstone Brooch picks up like a week after the events of the Sunstone Brooch, and it's a different main character, so it switches POV, but it's the same issues that they're dealing with, and that happens more and more as the books progress.
I noticed that too. The only problem I had with them was I felt like the relationship that they develop, and it's like there's so much detail, and then we're over, and then
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that was where. And then it was like, and then it's over, and I'm like, oh,
it's complicated because, and I found this as like I was writing and trying to find my niche, but since she's in the romance, I feel like Outlander spoils people, and like Outlander breaks so many barriers. But if you technically consider yourself in the romance genre, you have to fit that. Like it has to have a bow on it at the end.
Yeah.
And
like Bridgerton.
Over. That's like it has to have a happily ever after at the end of it. Every book does. That's what
The formula.
That's how you fit into the romance genre.
The genre.
Otherwise, it's women's fiction or chick lit or like it. So that's why it's like that.
No, I mean, they're good.
And I realize that's the
theme
theme of it, but I almost feel like, like this is the idea of the whole brooches and what they're about and all this other stuff. But it almost feels like these relationships happen just like too fast and too deep, too fast. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel earned or something. To be like saying you're going to marry somebody like 2 hours after you meet them and stuff. But I think a little strange.
But
that's very
that's just what it is. Like that's the whole idea of the book and all that. But I mean, it's just kind of like I can handle it if it was one or two, but like everyone's like that almost. So
Angela.
Yeah.
Nick asked me to marry him after 2 weeks.
2 weeks is better than a couple hours.
It's not. There aren't any that are a couple hours, Angela. There aren't any that are a couple hours.
No. The one with Kevin and JL was kind of close.
It was
kind of,
but it was a couple weeks.
I don't think so. It doesn't seem like it. It didn't seem like it. It seemed like it was all happening.
It's because the book is only like 6 hours of audio. That's why it seems.
No, I mean, it was. I don't know. It just seemed like they were very quickly decided they were each other's soulmates in a matter of just meeting each other. You know what I mean? And I just feel like that happening all the time feels a little bit not realistic, I guess, or whatever. So that part, but I realize that's the,
it's the mythology of
it's
that.
the mythology
series.
of the stone. So I get that's what it is. You know what I mean? It
Right.
just, it feels a little bit incredulous, I guess.
Yeah,
But
that's a lot of people struggle with that.
reading, but as you continue reading through, you get their relationships.
Yes.
And that deepens. And I think that's why I'm like, on to the next book, because I'm really enjoying the characters, and I like the characters, like sort of like our Outlander friends, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I want to go visit with this couple, and
it's not.
Yeah, I will say that I do like that. It now that I'm like a few books down the road of it, and I'm in this. I'm just starting this diamond one. I do like now you're starting to see like the second gen coming in, and you're starting to see like characters from the earlier couples folding back in, and you get more expansion on them. So I do like that aspect of it, and you don't get that till you don't get it until you get further down, and then they start folding back onto those other relationships and deepening them. So
that's
why
I think the first 5 books or so are very much like insta love.
That's the best way. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
You're getting their initial love story, but then as you, like Connie says, as you continue on into the series, you understand their relationships, and like they still have that initial passion and chemistry, but you're understanding why they were drawn to each other so much on like a deeper level.
I can see that.
Yeah.
How many books are in the series?
I think this one coming out is 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
12 or
she said that there's 25 though total.
There will be 25 total. Yeah.
And what's the series called?
The Celtic Brooch Series.
Celtic Brooches. Yeah.
Look it up.
That's the one that I'm doing my book club on my podcast.
She did a message the other day saying she's almost ready for book 12 to come out.
She's finishing her final read through. Her editor's done with it. So she's fixing everything that her editor pointed out, and then she's got to send it to her formatter and the cover design, and she's got to finish up her author notes. So it should be a week and a half, 2 weeks is what she's thinking. So
that'll be the
I'm hoping it's out before I go on vacation so I can take it with me.
Well, if it's 2 weeks, then it'll be when I come back, because I go next Friday.
Yeah.
So the first one is the ruby brooch?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see it now.
And I definitely I tell people, I'm like, if you like the ruby brooch, you'll like the rest of the series, but also don't judge the series harshly based on the things you don't like about the ruby brooch, because it's very much a first book, and you can tell it's her first book.
Yeah.
I do think they get progressively
really enjoyed it.
Right.
Yeah, I do think they get progressively better. Like they're more well written as the series progresses.
I agree. But that makes
I've
sense
enjoyed
anyway.
reading these better than reading the Bridgerton books.
I haven't read the Bridgerton books.
Oh, I loved all the Bridgerton books and the Rokesby.
I've read the Bridgerton books a couple of times, and yeah, I've enjoyed them. I've also listened to them on Audible, but
I like these better. I like these better.
I like the Celtic Brooch books better, and I've read them. This is the second time. I've just finished the Bloodstone brooch this morning. Just finished that for the second time, and I would quite happily start the beginning all over again because I've enjoyed them that much.
And I feel like the audio, like the narrators are really good too.
Yeah.
So far, I've only heard one narrator.
The Pearl Brooch
they
is the first one.
On.
Yeah, the Pearl Brooch is the first one with a different narrator, and I'm not so crazy about her, and I don't think other people were either because she only reads one book, and then they switched to Patrick Zeller and Marnie Young. And
yeah, I like it when it's got the women and the men doing it jointly together.
Amazing.
That's really good.
I love them.
Yeah,
and they're doing the new book, but that they were totally booked, and that's
why did the other girl stop? The one that
she got
started
too expensive. She raised her rate so much that Catherine couldn't afford her.
I like the last couple of ones. I've had some sound effects in the background as well. That's been really cool.
Yeah,
really
especially
cool.
in the battle scenes. I thought that was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And like you can hear waves or things in the background when they're really going on about
birds
it.
chirping. Yeah, it's cool.
So it's very, very immersive then, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That, and they do all the voices so much better because, like, you know how in the early books, like David and Elliot and all the other Scottish guys, they all kind of sound the same because a woman can only do so many variations of a Scottish male voice.
Yeah.
Patrick's really good about making them all sound different. So you can tell who's talking a lot easier in the audiobooks.
Yeah.
Does he
I've really enjoyed these.
They try to kind of make it where it's more seamless, or does it sound completely different than the way Terry did it?
It's just really different.
Yeah, it's really different just because you actually have a male and female voices. And then whoever the chapter's POV is, like, say you have Elliot chapter, then Patrick reads the narration portions of that chapter, and then the woman just speaks the female dialogue. But if it's like Amy chapter, then that's just an example. I don't even think Amy has any POV parts in the later books, but then the woman would read the narration parts and the dialogue, and then Patrick would read the male dialogue. So
yeah, I noticed in this last book there was a lot of different POV chapters compared to the previous books. In this last one that I just finished, the Free Brooches one,
and it
kind of gets a little nuts.
Yeah, it kind of was like, and I thought, okay, this is because she's doing this whole, like group approach. Where this whole group comes in, everybody's like chipping in there too, and I noticed like she's kind of more delineating the who's talking, like you're seeing more moving, and it was I kind of like that. It did get a little bit like it was really shifting around a lot, but it kind of like there was this whole conglomerate of conflict in that book. It was very, that book and the one before felt very Drums of Autumn-y, where
so freaking crazy,
it's like
just one turn after
misunderstanding and miscommunication, in the spades. And that's like the basis of the book.
Yep, craziness. Yeah, I'm prepping for Last McClenna right now. I have like 150 pages left, I think. And I'm like, it's taking me so long, and I'm like, oh my God, these bigger books are they're going to take me for freaking ever.
Yeah, because they're getting bigger. Every book is bigger.
She's the one that's coming out right now. It's like the Gabaldonian complex.
Yeah.
Well, the one that's
That's a
coming
good way
out.
to put it.
Go ahead off, ladies.
Bye-bye, Liz.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
The one that's coming out in a couple weeks, it's 100 pages longer than the last one that came out, which was like considerably longer than the one before that.
Right.
So,
but it's why she gets really detailed into the history and the like what's happening at the time, which is what I actually really enjoy.
I
that's what
love
I
that
love about it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And I like that they're different. Like she hops around and you're kind of getting different little snapshots of different scenes, like settings and so forth. You know, it kind of focuses on different things. So it kind of really keeps your interest because that's kind of this moving element that's through all the books, but yet there's a lot of ties between them. So I like that, you know, a lot about it.
Well, I think I'm gonna go too. I think I'm gonna get outside and take a nice walk before I have to get ready for my opening reception.
Thank you for taking time on your conference to pop it and say
You know,
hi.
I was super tired, and so I really didn't want. I thought, you know, I'm just gonna chill. I got my lunch and brought it up here since I've got this nice view. But I thought, you know, I should probably go outside. And so I think I'll go walk down to the river and walk around. But yeah, so I love Chicago. It's such a great city.
It is a good city.
Yeah. So I'm here till Wednesday, so I have plenty of opportunity. So to see it.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Good seeing you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
I will as soon as I can. My next thing planned as far as whatever is to get that first turn episode up. So I'll be doing that hopefully before I'm officially back.
Take care of
Get
yourself.
that knocked out, huh?
Take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
No, I am. I'm just saying, like, that's something I can kind of just record when I'm in a good spot where I'm not as congested or whatever, and I can kind of get it recorded and post it. It's different. The lives are hard. The live, you know, drums deep dive things are hard because it's longer. It's more work for me to prep, and it's longer than I have to try to talk.
Right.
You know, and it's just me talking. Like here, I can kind of like catch my breath a little while you guys talk. And when I can't do that when I'm doing the live. So I just want to, you know, I had my first soup yesterday. Salima sent me.
Was it any good?
Full of Comfort, it's called. And it was this box of like gourmet chicken soup and pie and rolls and cookies.
Oh,
and
cool.
it had like a serving spoon for the soup and a serving spoon for the pie. I took pictures so I could put a picture of it up. But it was so nice. It was such a surprise, you know, sending a little comfort in a box. So thank you, Salima.
You're very welcome. I'm glad that it was nice because it's always hard to know when you're just looking at something on the screen.
No, it was good, and the food was good too. It was very good, you know. So I had one yesterday, and they sent you like 2 things of soup. So I had one yesterday, and I'm having the other one today.
Oh,
for
I'm
my
glad.
dinner. So
Very
so
nice.
it gave me 2 days of, you know,
No
comfort
cooking.
soup. It's comforting soup. So so thank you.
You're
I
very
appreciate it. I
welcome.
love you to death. All right, you guys. You know what? Let me close this call. Is everybody okay with that? I'm gonna close the call, and I will be posting this as soon as I can get it formatted to post.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I hope you guys
This is very
enjoy
good to
seeing each
catch
other.
up.
I know everybody misses everybody.
Yes.
and stuff,
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm looking forward to Chelsea's next book club on Last McKenna, and then I will be back the next day with my drums dive. So
There you
hopefully, so we'll be double teaming you again. I don't know when our next thing is. I have to ask Chelsea when that's planned. I don't know if she's planned another one with us 2 together, but hopefully that'll be soon too. When I'm back.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take
Bye,
care.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.